Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a review of a WSI heavy haulage model. Here it is in the usual WSI branded box. And if we have a look on the back, we see that the model is a Scania R Highline 6x4 plus a 4-axle semi-low loader, which is a Broshuis. The model is in the colours of the Italian logistics giant Gruber. We immediately go to one end of the box, open up the flap and pull out what's inside. And the standard WSI packaging requires a bit of knife work to get the model out. In the box we've got the trailer, we've got the tractor, and we've got a bag of parts. A bit of assembly to do to get the model ready for the road, and Clunk Click does the trick of getting the trailer hooked up to the tractor. We can also add a storage box on top of the gooseneck, and we do that by pressing the metal sides in. Straight underneath the Scania for a look at the detail, and it's the usual high quality for a WSI tractor unit. As you can see, the exhaust system is fully modelled and there's a tank too. And the rear axle is also very nicely modelled. As you would expect, there are different tyres, front and rear. Up on top of the cab there's a nice aerodynamic fairing. The roof light is not see-through, but there are nice beacon lights and a name board. The mirrors on the Scania are black in line with the colour scheme. And there's some very nice detailing of the front grille. That includes some very small graphics, and there appears to be a Gruber fleet number. The chevrons on the front bumper look smart, and there's a realistic number plate. Side on, the Gruber graphics are attractive, and going close in, the smaller details are really good, including textured steps and detailed wheels. There's also a nice exhaust pipe. At the back of the cab, the Scania name is nicely embossed. And the other details seem to include a fire extinguisher box, and there's also a ladder and coiled lines. At the back the lights have plastic lenses, and the Scania mud flaps add a nice touch. The fifth wheel looks good, and there are realistic wheel arches, together with smart wheels. The underside of the Broshuis trailer is very detailed, and that starts with the structure and the deck timbers. There are landing legs and wheel chocks, and it's nice that the detailing includes hoses and cables. These run through to the rear of the trailer. The wheels have nice small tyres, and you can also see a spare one mounted at the front of the gooseneck. Also particularly nice are the connectors and tiny graphics. The surface of the gooseneck has got some nice texturing in the metal parts, and the plastic replica timbers look good. There's a yellow stripe down the edge of the trailer. At the back we're into high detail with plenty of graphics, which give a very realistic appearance. The Scania 6x4 has a moderate steering angle at the front, but the rear axles do spin freely. And that means when we go out onto the Cranes etc. test track, the Scania rolls along very nicely in a straight line. Okay, so you want to see the steering? Well, here it is. And the steering angle is fairly shallow. You say you can't hear much engine noise? Well, if we tilt the cab, we can indeed see that there is an engine modelled. And it looks good with a number of different coloured components. Moving on to the Broshuis trailer, and each of the axles has independently sprung suspension, and there is linked self-steering on the rear two axles. Just behind the gooseneck there are two landing legs which can be lowered by unscrewing, and it's nicely engineered with smooth piston faces. Once lowered they do provide a stable base for the trailer without the tractor. Another key feature of this type of trailer is its extendability, and the model displays that well. You can also extend the deck width by placing timbers on the pull-out beams, or for an alternative load situation you can place deck posts down both sides. although you will need to straighten them up. Let's try adding a load, and we'll start by pulling out the marker boards at the front and adding marker boards at the back. And that allows us to load a large set of lattice crane sections. Or if you want to go for a different type of load, we can take off one of the storage sides at the front and then add a couple of ramps up onto the gooseneck. These slot into place, and then we can repeat the process by a couple of ramps at the back. Now we can load on some self-propelled transport, and just look at how that harm roller flew through the air. It parks itself nicely, and then it's swiftly followed by a vergular paver. All we need now is somewhere to put our loading ramps, and the trailer has a facility for that. And there are a couple of slots at the rear where the loading ramps can fit into for transport. And it's always nice to push a straight part into a hole. So here we have our load of road building machinery. It looks great, and here you can see the trailer rear steering performing well too. Another display option is to use the support beam that comes with the trailer. This fixes into place with a couple of the deck posts, and then together with the gooseneck it provides a level platform for a long load. And here we're adding on some steel beams. We're not done yet with loads, and here's another option. And these are large Liebherr branded ballast slabs for the base of a tower crane. We'll separate them with timbers, pile them high, and sell them cheap. Or if you want another option, the model comes with container locks. So these can be inserted and then let the giant hand crane do its work. This is another very good looking heavy haulage model from WSI. This limited edition in the colours of Gruber has many different display options, and that's combined with a high level of detail and functionality. So if you want a good looking flexible heavy haulage model, this one is excellent.